I've learned a lot of things the hard way, and one of the biggest and most important was money. Because no matter how perfectly I budgeted, I always forgot something or something came up or something didn't go according to my perfect plan. There were unexpected expenses, bad timing, things came in that I'd forgotten about, and things stacked up on each other, and I always felt like I was doing it wrong. But thankfully, I don't feel that way anymore. And it's not because I make a ton of money, and it's not because everything always goes according to plan, because it does not. It's because of a system that I've been using for almost 20 years. I've spent that time perfecting it, tweaking it to make it work for me, and it can work for you. It's the same one that I've shared below, and it's the same spreadsheet that I use every day. There was a season in our life that we called the house curse. We moved into a new home, and after living there for 13 days, we had already laid flooring and we'd had the whole interior of the house painted. And I had just ripped out the first cabinet to start our kitchen demolition. I'd purchased cabinets that day that I'd spend the next month putting together. And that evening, my husband fell off a 2-story ladder. He shattered his knee and required multiple surgeries over the next few months. So now we have medical bills on top of renovation bills and a half-finished kitchen and no sink and no dishwasher and little kids and a brand new town. And what is even happening right now? And then 18 months later, we needed to sell that house. And we were told that we would do that before the weekend was over. 6 months later, it's still sitting there, empty. All of our furniture was in storage, and we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment while our new home was being built. It was ridiculous, and it felt like I had made the worst financial decisions based on really bad, inaccurate information. And the only reason that we didn't panic in that season was because we already knew what we could handle. We weren't guessing, and that's what gave me peace. Because what I have learned the hard way is that tracking leads to awareness, and awareness leads to control. Because if you're not tracking, you're guessing, and if you're guessing, everything feels uncertain because everything is uncertain, and it's all so stressful. I remember that feeling so well from my early 20s when I had overdrawn checking accounts and maxed out credit cards. And that was a problem that I needed to solve, and that's why I built the system that I still use today. When my husband and I got married almost 17 years ago, we had $116,000 in student loan debt. I was just starting to get a handle on my finances and starting to figure out how I can take control. We spent years paying off that debt, and right after we became debt-free, we could have immediately gone back into debt, but we didn't, because we knew that high amounts of debt did not bring us peace and did not align with the life that we wanted to live. So we paid cash for my husband's second master's degree. He applied for scholarships like it was his second job. And in the midst of that, we paid for an adoption. I know what that sounds like. It sounds like that doesn't even make any sense. And the only reason that we were able to do that is because we knew what we could afford. And we decided once, this is what we can take on. We weren't hoping that it would work. We already knew what was possible. Over the next several years, life settled down as much as it can, and we settled into life with 2 small children. My husband graduated from graduate school and started doing residencies and internships. I was working full-time and taking kids to and from daycare. And I found out I was pregnant, which was not the plan. It was a bit of a surprise, but thankfully by now we were well versed in how to handle surprises. So 2 days after our daughter turned 3 and our oldest was 5, I gave birth to our 3rd baby. And that's when things got very exciting and expensive. We had 3 kids, and that's an upgrade. So we needed a new car. We needed to add a college fund. We needed more life insurance. We needed to update our will, diapers, daycare, so many things. Thankfully, we already knew how to handle unexpected expenses. So we were able to celebrate the joy of our third child because we knew how to put unexpected expenses into our spreadsheet. And we had that information, so there was no guessing. And from the outside, I think people assume, oh, you're just good with money, or you're just really disciplined, or you got lucky. But what they don't see is what we've done consistently. Not perfectly, not intensely, but consistency. Even when life throws us curveballs and is inconsistent, we use the simple system that we've developed every single day. So if money feels stressful for you, it's not because you're bad with money. It's because things are unclear or reactive, or they keep sneaking up on you. Maybe it's because your budget is fixed and your life is variable. And that is fixable. That's exactly what this system is designed for. If you want to use the same system that I've used for almost 20 years, it's linked below. It will help you see what you actually have and make decisions ahead of time, so you stop feeling like your money and your bills are catching you off guard. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to write things down and track them, because with the tracking comes awareness and then control. If this resonates with you, I have another video for you. Why money keeps catching you off guard. And it will help you understand why this is happening in the first place. And if there's one thing I've learned from all of this, the hard way, it's that it actually is more simple than it feels. It's more simple to track things than to guess. I don't have to figure everything out all at once. I just have to take one step at a time. And you can do that too, and I'll help you. I would love for you to subscribe and we can walk through this together.